I should have mailed my podcast to the Marx Brothers. The Pickled Punks podcast. Hi. Hello, John.
How you doing, Brian?
I'm good, John. How are you, John?
I'm doing well. How you doing, Brad?
Doing fantastic.
We're missing someone today.
Who?
Hello?
I'm not sure.
Jim.
Jimmy there.
Jim.
Jim.
Give him a minute.
Listen for his heavy breathing or his sniffling. No, no,
Isn't there?
not there. Jim's not here.
Yeah.
He has more urgent matters in his life.
As one could imagine, trying to coordinate 4 people to do one thing can be challenging.
Yeah. We're all very busy young people.
Busy beavers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a beaver, actually,
Oh.
but I'm very busy. So, yeah, Jim's not here, but we're going to try to... He would want us to keep going without him. Actually, he said, go ahead and don't stop.
In fact, I told him that we were
quote.
recording without him. He didn't even respond. So
Yeah, I think he's okay with it.
you don't know if that's bitterness or satisfaction.
The question is, what are we going to lose without him here?
Where to begin, really?
Insights to other horror movies?
I can maybe field that.
Technical knowledge about recording equipment?
Hey, what are you guys recording on now? My recording equipment.
Thoughts about firearms?
I can't help you out there.
I have thoughts about it, but
Yeah,
they're not the
no
same
knowledge.
as Jim's.
Well, no firearm talk then.
Oh, okay.
So if you tuned in listening for some firearm talk, you'll be greatly disappointed.
Wah, wah, wah.
But what you will hear is our thoughts on The Visit.
Yes, The Visit by M. Night Shyamalan. Did I get it right?
It sounded right to me.
Close enough.
He has done many a movie.
Is he thought of as cheesy or as, innovative?
Is it possible to say both?
No.
No.
I mean, he said both. I heard him say it.
Is he respected or is it like he's like a cash cow who just kind of does cheap thrill scare kind of movies?
When he first, well, I wouldn't say first because I don't know when he first made a movie, but his biggest movie was that movie that you were speaking of with The Village.
I thought The Signs was his big first movie.
What about Sixth Sense?
Oh yeah, Sixth Sense was the one that really set him off. And I haven't watched it recently. Does it hold up?
I don't think it can. It just has a massive twist at the end.
Was that what really got people going? Was the twist?
I think so.
That was his sort of thing, right?
Does he always seem to have children in his movie?
There's children in the village.
Oh, yeah, there's children. There's children in Signs.
Mm-hmm.
There's children in this one.
Yeah, I don't know. But I really like The Village. I recall enjoying that. The freaky guys in the woods. But I felt differently about this film.
I didn't notice when watching it with you.
Yeah, I tried to tamp down the violence of my reactions.
This was actually typical Brian behavior when watching a horror movie. It's general squirming.
I think I reacted more harshly to this one than... This wasn't my usual, which is like shut down. This was active. I wanted to throw things at the TV.
Well, let's hear a plot summary.
Brad?
Me?
Jim's not here.
Gotta step in for Jim. Basic plot summary. 2 kids giving their mom a weekend off decide to go visit their grandparents.
A whole week, isn't it?
Oh, right. Yeah, a whole week, not a whole weekend. Visit their grandparents who they've never met, never seen pictures of, and don't know anything about. And then the daughter decides to make it a documentary to sort of understand her mother better, I guess, is the goal. I'm not really sure.
I think she's trying to bring mom and her parents closer together.
Yeah, I think that's the end resolution she's going for.
She keeps talking about an elixir or something. Is that like the healing between the family, among the family?
Yeah. So when she was recording, well, this is a little into the future, but when she was recording the grandmother saying, after telling her the story of a child who was, kind of kicked out of parents' house and then came back, the apology or I wouldn't say an apology, but sort of like the acceptance of the child's behavior. That was the elixir of removing the guilt from that child's mother. That's what she was trying to obtain. And then when she recorded that, this was the elixir that would save or fix my mom. This is the reason my mom doesn't have good relationships and the reason why she's so wacky.
But it didn't wind up being her actual grandparents, her actual mom.
I don't know. Brian? Brad?
Wait. Correct. Well, the kids don't know that till Friday, essentially, till the day before they go home, and then
How do they figure that out anyway? Because that's when...
she shows them the Skype.
Oh, yeah.
She shows them with a camera. But yeah, it just turns into a little... It gets creepier and creepier day after day. And then it all comes to a head when they realize that it's not actually their grandparents.
Twist.
Oh, that's why.
Plot
That's
twist.
why Grandma sabotages the camera on the Skype call.
Probably.
Yeah, because she assumes that she doesn't want to get found out.
No. She just spilled some baking soda on it.
Try to clean it with oven cleaner.
Yeah.
But then they fix it, which seems
That was weird.
implausible.
They actually, if you look closely, they actually removed the casing around the lens altogether. So it was like, spilled, baking or oven cleaner on the actual plastic, makes it opaque so you can't see out of it. They actually removed the outer covering from the lens so that it wouldn't be opaque anymore.
Nerd alert.
Well, it was in the fucking movie, dude.
I feel like there might have been that scene deleted. It's one of those, like, too much information. They just delete it. People figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
People like John, they figured it out.
So
That's
how
pretty.
does it end?
Yeah, how's it end?
They discover that it's not their parents, or grandparents. They actually discover their dead grandparents, and that the fact that these two people are escaped mental patients, I guess,
And the real grandparents volunteered at a mental ward.
right. And so they must have killed them. They clearly interacted with them, and then, all the signs that you were seeing earlier kind of link up to that, and then the kids have to defend themselves and actually kill the grandparents and get some poop on the face, and then get to the cops.
When you say poop on the face, what do you mean specifically?
I mean literal shit on the face.
Diaper shoved into
Yeah.
face. Yeah, Grandpa has a bowel control problem.
Incontinent.
He keeps his bloody doo-doo white diapers in the barn. Why are they bloody? Are they bloody or
Were
was
they
it just
bloody?
doo-doo?
I think it was we had a bad.
It was tough
Quality.
to tell. I mean, I would say that it did look a little bit bloody.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he had a hemorrhoid. He's old. Maybe he has, some issues with his bowel.
Maybe he ate a lot of beets out on the farm.
Could have done that.
So this movie, these people were institutionalized, but there's also the aspect that they seem to get crazier at night, or at least mom gets crazier. Grandma gets crazier at night.
Sundowning.
But dad seems pretty loopy the whole time. He's like trying to commit suicide in the barn with a shotgun during the day.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
So he's suicidal, and what about the alien thing? Don't they think they're aliens, or they think they're spawned from alien visitors or something?
Yeah. Essentially, everything you learn about the grandparents sort of has like two avenues, right? Like one, you're like, that's totally crazy, or there's like a legit reason for it, like they're just goofing around, and then you find out they're actually kind of crazy, like they actually believe in aliens.
Yeah, I think that it actually had a pretty authentic representation of people who are old and who are psychotic. I mean, they kind of would talk about things that were a little crazy, but then they would also be like, oh, no, it's not true. And I think part of that is because either the counselors around them or society around them would constantly remind them that what they're saying is totally inaccurate, but they personally think it's true, but they're still on the fence because it's like, well, I can't say this out loud and absolutely say it's true, because if I do, then people will think I'm crazy. So I'll just mention it, see what kind of reaction I get. Negative reaction. Oh, it's just a story. That's not actually true.
And Grandpa and Grandma didn't seem interested in actively trying to harm the children, except for that one scene where Grandma tries to knock the door down and has a knife in her hand. But otherwise, she just runs around the house and scratches the walls, and Grandpa doesn't do anything except take dumps in the barn. And
he doesn't take dumps in the barn. He takes shits in his pants, and then he brings the shitty pants to the barn.
But I mean, what do you think is there? They murdered the volunteers at the hospital, made the impression that they were the grandparents. Presumably they had some goal. They mentioned something about it was a gift to the grandmother to try to because her own grandchildren had done some shit. But are they trying to kill the kids? Or are they just trying to have a nice week? What's their objective?
Yeah, I think the way they explain it is that the grandmother, Nana, killed her kids.
Okay.
When they put them in a suitcase and took them in the river or a lake or something, actually killed them. And so that's probably when she was institutionalized. And so I think they were just these, Becca and Tyler's grandparents actually told, they're oh, the kids are coming this weekend, it's great. And then these people took it as an opportunity to live out their life as they want, just basically kind of live wearing the skin of these other people, just living in their home and being oh, we're grandparents, we're normal.
So they wanted to kill the kids, or they didn't want to kill the kids?
I mean, I think they're just
I think
crazy.
At the time that they killed the kids, they thought that the aliens that were referenced were, I don't know, maybe an analogy to heaven or an analogy to a better life. So they wanted to either sacrifice the children to the aliens or to transmit the children to the aliens. So they legitimately thought by putting them into the well that they were doing them a favor, and that's how they were killed.
I laughed many times in this movie, partly to relieve pain and tension about watching it, but also because Mom has multiple opportunities to kill the kids. She gets the little girl to climb in the oven twice, goes so far as to close the door of the oven. She has the scene with the knife. There's the scene. She doesn't seem to want to act at the end when Grandpa and the girl Becca are locked in the room together, and all Grandma does is climb under the bed and make goofy, scary sounds and get under a bed sheet and mess with her. She doesn't seem to want to actively harm the child. She just wants to act goofy and scary.
Mm-hmm.
So, I didn't get. That wasn't really scary because Mom just was crazy and act goofy and the girl winds up killing her, but it's not Grandma ever. She had multiple opportunities to actually do some harm and never did.
Maybe, part of it is, someone trying to develop tension in a movie, but maybe if you think of the character specifically, maybe she was battling her own desires and did want to put the child in the oven and burn her, but then was well, when it came down to it, do I really want to do this? Is it too much? And then kind of retreated from it. Because it's if she's at that one point where she gets the knife and she tries to get into their bedroom with the assumption that she would kill them, she's kind of working off of more of a, I don't know, subgrade sort of thought process. And so her higher functioning wasn't limiting what her primary desires were. And so she would have, I guess, tried to kill them at that point. So I assume there's an undercurrent of desire to kill the kids, whether it's for the aliens or for her own pleasure. And she's just kind of but then her other pleasure is to have a fully functioning family that she felt she missed out on or that she did wrong. So she's trying to emulate both of those desires at the same time. So she's kind of in conflict with herself.